Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to our reading for this week. Welcome back to Monday, a Monday that's starting with a strawberry full moon in Capricorn, and Mercury is going retrograde in Cancer. Whoa. Do you feel that? Do you feel a little bit drained right now? Do you feel maybe somebody's watching this and their back is out right now? We're going to go into that. You're probably feeling drained. You're probably feeling like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Maybe you're feeling it more like so in your head. You might have a headache. Drink lots and lots of water right now, okay? Drink lots of water because there's a lot going on in the atmosphere. There's a lot going on up there that's going to be affecting you in here as well, okay? So we're going to, of course, pull cards because the Come to Jesus deck is coming out, by the way. Because we need to go in deep. Like, we need to call ourselves out right now because of the Mercury retrograde. So this Mercury retrograde is in Cancer, which means emotions are going to be high. That communication is going to have some emotions behind it, right? Anytime a planet goes in retrograde, it means that the planet is going backwards. So we're supposed to be spinning forwards, not backwards, right? Anytime a planet goes in retrograde, it's going to spin backwards, which means we're going backwards. So if you've been on your spiritual journey for a while, you know that going backwards means you're going back in time, means you're going to go back into your shadow. You're going to go look at things that you need to work on in the past. Sometimes that's where we take you when we do healing sessions like the illuminations therapy sessions or the soul retrievals. Ancestral healing sessions always go to the past for the most part. Rarely do any of those sessions really work in the present time. A couple of them I have done. I have done a few that have worked in the present time. Something's going on right then and there. But for the most part, we're going to track that energy backwards. That's what Mercury retrograde is doing also. She's also the planet of communication, which means she's showing you where your communication is lacking. Where are you not being honest to yourself? Where are you not being honest to other people? Where are you holding that communication in? And you need to let it go, right? Like, you need to allow yourself to communicate with truth, with love, and you need to finally say your piece. The fact that she is in Cancer is she's going to be pulling out that emotion. It's going to be emotional. So you're probably going to see like communication backfiring, or all of a sudden a friend comes to you and they're crying saying you hurt my feelings, or maybe you feel the opposite. You're like, you hurt my feelings in return, right? This is where we take a step back and we look at it ourselves. So this Mercury retrograde is asking that you hold yourself accountable for any actions that you did in the past, that you're forgiving. So making sure that you either forgive yourself or you forgive the other person, right? Look at all the areas in your life where communication was maybe not the greatest and write it down today. So if you're watching this today, when I'm recording it on Monday, June 29th, during this full moon in, sorry guys, I'm going to turn this, there we go. The full moon, strawberry full moon. If you are watching this, then I highly suggest that you start writing this down. Write down the areas with somebody that you did not have good communication with. Maybe you finally got to say your piece to somebody, but that person took it in the wrong way. Now I want you to look at it this way, okay? Not everybody's going to understand what you have to say. Not everybody's going to agree with you, even though you know that something that you're saying is right because you're finally saying it, because you're finally letting it out. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to agree with you. And sometimes if that person has not been on their healing journey, if that person is not willing to work on their stuff in this lifetime, if they are a soul that chose to come to this earth to be to play the narcissism, to play the bad guy, so to speak, in your life, they're not going to be able to read it. It's just not going to happen, okay? Very good example is I have finally got to say my piece to somebody in my life that I needed to say, and that person didn't read. And I mean, I even put it into text message very kindly, very nicely, so that they could read through the text messages, and never responded to what I had said, never really truly read, never answered my questions, just kept taking it the way that they wanted to. When I stepped back, I realized that's because this person's not supposed to understand it in this lifetime with me. Technically our past should have already ended, but because of my uncle, the path will stay connected. Does that make sense? Anyways, but I, in return, had to take a step back and go, okay, why does this matter? I said my piece. I've said it. Now it's time to forgive. What has this taught me? What can I take away from this? What is my learning here? And I wrote it all down. So that's what Mercury retrograde is asking you to do as well. If this person is not going to listen, if they are not going to answer, and you feel like you're just talking to a wall, then take that as your learning experience, that this person is not supposed to, and there's a reason for that, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to understand you, not everybody's going to listen to you, and not everybody is going to be on your side, okay? What is that? Not everybody's supposed to be your friend, right? So, however, I wanted to pull up on here. So I pulled up on my zodiac thing because I'm not always good with zodiacs. I wanted to bring up the positive in Cancer. Cancer is an intuitive planet, okay? So they are natural caretakers and home buddies of the zodiac, known for their fierce loyalty and nurturing nature. Yes, okay. Because Mercury retrograde is in Cancer, I want you to take time at home. Be a home buddy for a little bit. You don't always have to be out and about. You can go home and sit at home, read a book, journal, meditate. This is the perfect time for you to really go within yourself. The fact that she is in Cancer means that she's really going to be pulling in those shadows this time around. She's really going to be pulling in these shadows. I know that Mercury gets a lot of hate, and I don't know why, because this is your opportune time to really pull out those shadows and let go of what no longer serves you. But I say do this today or within this week because of the fact that she's going to be working. Whether you want her to or not, she's going to be doing the work, okay? She's going to do it, right? So that is why I'm saying do this now so that you don't have to do it later when it's like thrown at you, right? Again, it's a very intuitive planet. So you're going to look at your intuition a lot. You're going to be looking at where have you not followed your intuition? Where do you need to follow your intuition? What is your intuition trying to say to you? Emotions hold intuition. Emotions hold intuition. Tears hold memories, right? So whenever you're crying, you're letting that memory go. What is that? Water holds memory. Why am I trying to make that too complicated? Right, Olaf? If you know, you know, you know. Anywho, so this Mercury retrograde is already setting you up at the beginning of this week to work through it smoothly. Listen, you don't have to have a bad Mercury retrograde, okay? You don't have to struggle the whole entire time. Yes, she's still going to take us through our stuff, and we're going to see a lot of things changing. We're going to see some things shifting. We're going to see words being said. We're going to see people saying stuff. We're going to see a lot of miscommunication. And if it's that communication with that other person, so to speak, understand that the miscommunication is going to happen. There's just nothing you can do about that. And just take it with a grain of salt. You know what? You said your piece. You were done. You're done. You don't have to respond no matter what. You do not have to respond. I'm going to say that again. You do not have to respond. This is your energy, not theirs. This is your life, not theirs, okay? So, again, you're not going to be understood by everybody. You do not have to respond. So, shadow work. I always say shadow work during Mercury retrograde because you know what? It's the perfect time. If you are watching this on today, Monday, June 29th, I would say write that letter that I mentioned earlier and then start to do your shadow work. Meditate. Go into a meditation without any intentions. Just for 5 to 10 minutes, go into a meditation. Find something on the YouTubes or wherever that you feel called to, and then just go into a meditation without any intentions. Okay? Try it and see what happens. Now this full moon, this strawberry full moon, I like how it's a strawberry, which is really cool because last night here in Arizona, the sky was painted pink as the full moon was starting to come up, as like the moon was starting to come up, and I was like, that's really cool and pretty, and I like it. Interesting. So I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was like a great way for her to start. But anyway, so she's in Capricorn, which is we're working in with our karma here, right? We're working with karma. This doesn't mean bad karma. Let's just put that out there. This does not mean bad karma, but I would highly recommend doing some releasing ceremonies today. Just like I said, if you can, spend the day writing these things out. Release, cleanse your home. Take today to really cleanse your home. Sage, Florida water. Open up your windows if you can, if you're not in Arizona where the heat just comes in. So, you know, I did open my door this morning to let some of that air go out. So, but if you can, open up your windows and sage and Florida. But don't follow up with Palo Santo right now. We want the smoke to clear. So especially if you're using sage, we want it to settle before we use Palo Santo. So sage, cleanse your home today, and then tomorrow follow it up with either Palo Santo or rose water. Why rose water? Because rose water is a pure water. It's a soft water. It's a love water. It's the heart chakra. It's the heart of your home. I like to spray it in like every corner of my house, and then I just do like a lovely spray throughout the home also. And it just softens the energy. It brings that softness in, and it kind of says to anything else that's out there, you're not allowed to come in. All right. You're probably noticing like the activity is a little strong right now. I know my daughter woke up and she kept telling me that man keeps coming in my room. That man keeps coming in my room, and I've seen him twice, and so he's getting kicked out today. Because I've seen him. He poked his head out the other day, and I saw him around the corner. I was like, oh, I need to cleanse. And then we ended up leaving for the day. And then she saw him last night. So, and then I saw him actually leaving her room. So the veil is thin right now, in other words. All right. But again, let's go into Capricorn. So we've got the full moon in Capricorn. Let's go in there and let's see what she has to say for herself. So Capricorns are renowned for their ambition, discipline, and practicality. They're reliable, goal-oriented planners who excel at turning vision into reality. Let's step into that, okay? So we have the opportune time to really release anything. I want you to look at every area in your life that you maybe played the bad guy, okay? And I want you to hold yourself accountable. Write it down. Say sorry to the person or to yourself, whatever, but you're gonna hold yourself accountable right now because you're letting that karma go. You're saying, I'm done with this lesson. I'm done with the karma here. I'm going to release it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to give it to Mother Earth. And then have a burning ceremony. Capricorn is, is Capricorn a water? Capricorn's water, right? Oh, it's an earth. Wow, Brie, good job. See, I'm not really good at all the zodiacs, okay? Just, the ruling planet is also Saturn. So, I would say you could do a burning ceremony, but you could also bury it. This is why Mother Earth is being called on so strong right now, is because you could also bury that letter and allow it to grow into something more. So if you have a garden, you can bury it and then put some seeds on the top and allow it to grow into something beautiful, right? Allow whatever you're releasing to grow into something beautiful. Because you also have Cancer, which is a water element. So you're going to water the plants. You're going to water those seeds. I think that's all they have to say about that for right now. So let's go ahead and let's get into our reading for June 29th through July 5th. We're heading into another month. So we're going to have the first of all, let's talk about that. We're going to have the first on Wednesday. So words are hard. The 1st of July will be on a Wednesday this week. I always love to start my month by blowing cinnamon in through the door. Don't make it complicated, okay? I have so many people that will message me saying, but don't I have to do this? No. All I do is I will grab my Celtic salts, and I will grab cinnamon, and I will wash my hands with that first, just so I get any energy off of my hands beforehand. And then I will put the cinnamon. I like to put it in my left hand, all right, because that's what I'm called to do. I put it in my left hand, and I will just bless the cinnamon. And you can say whatever comes to you. As I blow this cinnamon through the door, may abundance flow through. As I blow this cinnamon through the door, may abundance flow all month long. Bless this home. Whatever it comes to you. This is your ritual. Make it yours. Don't always follow other people. We have great starting points, but then make it your own. I will say this. Open that door up wide and then blow the cinnamon through the door. Let it go. And then don't vacuum or clean it up for at least 24 hours. Let it settle, just like you're going to let the sage smoke settle so it can do its thing, okay? Cinnamon is a very abundant spice. It has been used for centuries as an abundant spice. People have put it in their teas and their coffees. It goes way back, okay? And it has always been used as an abundant spice. So that's why we use it. There's also something that you can do where on June 30th, a TikToker I follow does this, and she says rabbit, rabbit before she goes to sleep, and then right when she wakes up, she says rabbit, rabbit on the 1st as well. You could do that. I've seen the results of it, and then I've not seen the results of it. So, but it also, again, it's your intentions, right? So we're gonna have the 1st. Let's see what else we got going for us. Hello, Artemis. She looked at me when I did that. She's like, ooh, we're doing a reading today. We're doing a few readings today, actually. Because I've also got my Patreon page. Let's go into the back real fast while I'm shuffling the cards. So if your back is hurting right now, it's meaning that you have unresolved issues in the past that you need to resolve. And that's why it's coming up right now. That's why people's backs are being put out right now. I know one of my friends just went to a chiropractor because she said her back was hurting. It also, your back is your support. So your back is what supports all of this, right? And when our back is out, it means that we're not feeling that support. So look at the areas that you do not feel support, and how can you get support? Is it just where you need to realize that you are getting support and you need to love that part? Or is it where you can ask for some more support and maybe receive it as well, okay? But our backs are out because also, like I said, we need to go back into something. There's some sort of unresolved issue that needs to be resolved, that's ready to be resolved. And I'm almost willing to bet that once you resolve it, your back's gonna feel better. Just gonna throw that out there. So let's see what else we got for this week. We're gonna fly out either way. Ugh. For some, we're gonna see success. If you do all of this, you're gonna see success. So the 4th of July, which I love that we're celebrating America with everything that's going on during a Mercury retrograde that's also in Cancer. Like, I feel like some emotions are going to be high during this 4th of July. That success card really wants to come out for somebody. It's like trying so hard, and I keep putting it back because it's not a general, it's for somebody. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, we have the outsider. Like I said, we're starting this Mercury retrograde in the need to look at our past, right? So you're the person that's looking through that gate going, what if? What if I hadn't chosen that? What if I would have done this instead? What if I wouldn't? What if I would? What if? We're going to put the what ifs away. I want you just to throw all the what ifs out of your speaking, out of your vocabulary for the time being, okay? No more what ifs. What if has had its time. It's done. We're done. So we're going to stop looking through the gate. And again, this is through our rituals that we're going to do this, through shadow work. But here's the thing. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It's not. Sometimes we think that the grass is going to be greener, and then we go there and we realize that the grass was not always greener, that it was actually greener where we were. And then that's where we start to get the nostalgic feelings of, oh my gosh, I had it good. What if I had to blah, blah, blah. What if I would have made this decision? Or maybe we needed to make that change. Maybe we were supposed to make that change. Maybe we were supposed to go in that direction. It may have not felt it at the time, but maybe now we're starting to see the fruits of those labors. We're starting to see the results of our changes, of what we were supposed to be, what we were supposed to be doing. So again, we've got that outsider. I want you to really look at the things that you feel like you're an outsider, where you don't feel like you belong. And I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you feel like you don't belong? Maybe that's just not where you're supposed to be then. If you don't feel like you belong, then maybe you're not supposed to be there, because you're a unique individual and nobody should put you in a cage, all right? But stop being the child that's looking through the gate going, but I want to play over there, and then they're like, look at this. It's not even locked. Can you see that? It's not even locked. At any point in time, you could open up that gate and you could walk through it. But you're the one that's holding yourself back. So there's two parts to that. Somebody that's looking through that gate with nostalgic, but then somebody else who needs to stop looking at it through the nostalgia and open up that gate and walk through it. Because you're the only person that's holding yourself back. Almost ties together also. So, again, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what does not. All right? We've got the control in reverse. This means we are letting go of control. This means we are going to be trusting. This means that we are releasing something that no longer serves us. We're going to let go of that control. All right? You don't need to be in control of anything right now. You really and truly don't. The universe is literally saying, let me do it. You've already put your wish list into Amazon. Now let me deliver it. Let me show you how good it can get, right? I love saying that. Universe, show me how good it can get. Universe, show me how good it is getting. Universe, show me how good it can get. And you just keep saying it until you feel that behind that, until you can feel it, the strength of it behind your words, right? You feel that energy behind it. Universe, how good can it get? Show me right now. Okay? Let go of that control. Just let it go. You don't need to be in control of anything. You don't need to, like, look at this guy, his hands. But look at it. By being in control, he's pushing himself under something. Like, he's not really in control of anything, right? None of us really are. None of us are really in control of anything. So let it go. Remember how I said the veil is, like, very thin right now? I don't want you. I strongly suggest working with your intuitive gifts this week. Just let your intuition go wild right now. Allow your intuition to be in charge this week. The decisions may not make any sense to you in the moment, but really and truly just allow that intuition to be in charge right now, okay? Why do I say that? Well, because there's something coming through the veil. There's something that's being split apart that is coming through to show you something different. I also like the fact that, again, it's Mercury retrograde. This kind of looks like a shadow, right? He looks like a shadow. And she's splitting through that shadow. Like, she's coming out of the other side. So anytime you're doing shadow work, it's going to get icky and mucky and right? Shadow work sometimes can take weeks to work through because it's something that's really ingrained within you. So you're almost rewriting patterns, DNA, like you're rewriting your genetic code. That's why it can take so long. But something is being split open. Something is starting to come through. So really allow yourself to get into your shadow work, but follow your intuition this week. Like really follow it. If it says go to that restaurant, then go to that restaurant. If it's telling you to go on a walk in that park, then go on a walk in that park. If it's saying stay home, then stay home, right? But listen to that intuition, all right? You know the butterfly effects? It's happening right now. It's happening, okay? Just trust the process. And then the last one we have is the dream. I feel like this one's a two-parter also, because we have the person that's looking at their dreams and they're saying, oh my gosh, I missed my dreams. I missed out on my dreams. I'm going to say this as somebody who finished their bachelor's at 36 years old. You're never too old, right? You're never too old to go for what you want and what your dream is. You're never too old. So if you're doing all of this releasing ceremony, you're letting these things go, remember that when you release stuff, you also have to replenish it. You got to bring that good back in. So write down the positive that you want to see in your life. Start adding positive things into your life. You know, maybe after you've done your releasing ceremony, sit down and write your life as if it's happening. What do you want? What do you see? Make it into your own story. Start writing your story. I just saw a beautiful thing of somebody who sat down at their computer and started typing up a book, but the book was their story. So in every single chapter, they wrote their dream life. So it wasn't a book to be published. Does that make sense? Like, I'm seeing somebody writing a book, but it's not a book to be published. It's a book of their life. So each chapter is some sort of event that they're wanting in their life. So, you know, maybe you're starting out where you start out the book where you're at, but by the end of the book, at the end of the chapters, you've written where you want to be. And the beautiful thing about writing the book like this is because you're writing it in the first person, now, here and now, like it's happening right now, and it's almost more believable. And I can see that because whenever I read a book, I get into it, right? Like you go into a different realm. You really and truly connect to the characters in the story. So I can see that. So if you're seeing this and you're like, oh my God, that's a good idea, then do that. Then do that over just writing. Because like the person I'm seeing doesn't do well with writing and pen. Like they'll do it for a couple minutes and then they're done, but they can sit at a computer and they can type for hours on end, right? And in doing that, they're typing up their story. They're typing up their book. Remember, this is your book. This is your story. How do you want it to go? What do you want to see? So that's the first part of this card that I'm seeing. The second part of that I'm seeing is you actually achieving your dreams. I'm seeing some things happening for some people that their dreams are coming true, like little, and it's gonna be like little things at first. It's not gonna be like bam, but it's like, oh my gosh, I wanted that necklace and somebody bought it for me. Or oh my goodness, I really wanted that cup of coffee and somebody brought it to the office for me. You know, or you're walking along the road. I'm actually seeing a guy, and he's walking on the sidewalk, and he looks down, and there's like this shiny object. I can't tell what it is, but it's a shiny object. But when he picks it up, he knows it's his. I don't know if it's a crystal. I wanted to say a penny at first, but it's too shiny, right? Like I can see it. It's shiny. So I almost want to say like a crystal or something, but he picks it up and he knows it's his, and he just says thank you, and he carries it with him, and it's like his good luck charm for like the next few weeks, and it brings him like all sorts of good luck. So I'm excited for whoever that is. That's kind of cool. But that's what I'm seeing for that person. Like I just got chills. Like I got excited for them. That's kind of cool. But again, the second part of that is the dreams coming true. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Like I said, you're never too old. You've never missed the opportunity. It just means that time wasn't right, and a new opportunity is going to come up. And maybe that new opportunity is going to look different than how you had envisioned it at first, but it's going to be so much better for you. So much better, because sometimes those missed opportunities are missed so that we can have the opportunity that's really and truly meant for us, and it delivers like 10 times more, right? Like so much more. So dreams are definitely happening. A little teeny tiny of that I'm seeing also is to pay attention to your dreams. I did do a video before, if you go back, about dreams, so, and how to interpret your dreams. So maybe go watch that so you can like kind of pay attention to your dreams. But I'm seeing that also. I'm seeing that. All in all though, you guys, like this week, you can set it up to be the best week ever, or you can set it up to be the worst week of your life because you're like, oh my god, it's a full moon and Mercury retrograde, gird your loins, right? Like you could, or you could say anything and everything is possible, and I am going to achieve everything that I want, and I'm going to do all of my spiritual things that I want to do because I know that this is going to help me on my journey, and I know that I'm worthy of so much. So I'm going to take this time to go back in my shadows, to reset, to release, to reevaluate my dreams, to look at things in a bigger, better light, right? Because even with the negative, that sometimes when we look at these, like the full moon being in Capricorn and Mercury retrograde being in Cancer, we're only looking at the negative aspects of the zodiac signs. Look at the positive also, right? That need to go within, but also that nurturing, connection to Mother Earth, the intuition. And sometimes those emotions, they need to come up anyways. So don't hold back, right? As long as it's with love, don't hold back, okay? And remember, not everybody's going to understand you. Not everybody's going to get what you have to say, but that's okay. Sometimes we just have to be willing. I'm hearing being the bigger person. I always hated that saying. But in this case, the reason they're saying that is because sometimes it's better for us to just walk away and leave it as it is. Because it's no longer serving us. We can't take it with us on our journey. So why are we holding on to it, right? So, anywho. Also, if you're following me on Patreon, I am about to go type up a full rituals, all sorts of fun things for you guys to do, because today's post is going to be all about the rituals, and I'm about to go type it up of some really fun rituals that we can do, some great rituals. So make sure you're following me over there. If you're wanting to go deeper into reading, I do have some openings this week as well as next week. I am going to be taking the end of this week off to spend with my daughter for the holiday weekend, but I'm here at the beginning of the week and I have a couple spots still open. So hit all the links down below, and I will be working on the readings for July and the workshop for July. We're going to bring those back. I took a break from them because, as I said in a previous video, I needed some time after finishing my bachelor's degree. I just needed some time to myself to A, celebrate, and B, get some of that energy back, because I spent a lot of time finishing that. That capstone project was no joke, none whatsoever, but it was really fun, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm very glad I have that degree, because it has taught me a lot, and it's shown me a lot, and I feel like it's helping in my readings as well. So, anywhoosies, we're going to bring some things back, but some things we did get rid of, and that's okay. That's okay. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay positive. Go work on those shadows. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. And I love you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.